All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Because we are jam-packed today for Module 3 review meeting, I just need to do a quick audio check to everyone and just a random roll call. Hi, Andrew. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Good, good. Thanks for asking. How about yourself?
Doing well, thank you.
Oh, perfect. We've got John. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
All right. And we've got Teresa. Hello. Good afternoon. All right. I know you can hear me. And we've got Rick.
Okay.
Hello, how are you doing?
Good, thank you. And we've got Michael. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
There you go. And we've got William Dre. You're on mute. Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Thank you. And I think this is Jason. Jason? Jason, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm here. I'll turn my video on in just a moment.
No worries. Thank you. And we're just waiting for someone in iPhone, and I'm not sure who's the student is, but we're just waiting to connect his or her audio. And I think we're just waiting for 2 more students to join your Module 3 review meeting. As always, guys, thank you so much for completing your lessons for Module 3. And Kevin is back, and he will take over the call. Have an incredible day to everyone.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you.
Such an absolute pleasure to be back and seeing so many smiling faces. Good day, good day, good day. Give me a thumbs up and confirm, please, that you're having an incredible day so far. Absolutely beautiful stuff. Absolutely beautiful stuff. Guys, I have a request before we start today. I'm going to request that I can absorb some of your energy from the call today because jet lag is kicking my rear. Okay? So in order to stay with you and to deliver as much as I can, I'm going to need some energy back. Is that a deal? Is that a fair trade? Oh, beautiful stuff. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So what I want you to now start thinking about, Aisha, great to have you on the call. What I want you guys to start thinking about, Karen, great to have you on the call. What I want you to start thinking about quite simply is this. What was your biggest takeaway as you went through Module 3? What was your biggest takeaway going through Module 3? I am going to simply go through and read the required notice. Then I'm going to go around the room and I want you to share with me what your big takeaway was from Module 3, okay? So, let me share my screen. As always, give me a big thumbs up and confirm that you can see my screen, please, guys. All right, beautiful stuff. So welcome to the Module 3 review call. Required notice is quite simply as follows. So this call is being recorded for training and quality assurance purposes. And by participating, you give consent to both video and audio recording. On this call, we may be discussing financial matters. All the information that I will provide in this call is for informational purposes only and should not be construed as personalized financial advice and does not carry any financial guarantee. Entra is not a financial advisory firm. So I'm going to go around the room and I want you to share with me, what was your big takeaway? What was your standout? I want to trade. Beautiful stuff. So, Andrew, Mr. R. Davis, I'm going to start with you first, sir. Take yourself up here. Help me understand. What was your big takeaway?
Okay, one of the well, I had a lot of takeaways, but I won't take up too much time. I will say this: the whole magic number versus awesome life number. I just thought that was great. There was a lot of videos that Jeff shared with other teachers, and I thought all of those were great as well. But to really to break down how much money you actually need, and how much money you're pulling aside to invest, how much, you're obviously paying for taxes, all of that stuff. And, you think to yourself, at least me, and I think in general public, you're living paycheck to paycheck and you're thinking, okay, I need to have this much more, but you're not going with that whole 10X thinking at all. And that is where I started looking at it and going, okay, I need to up my game a lot more. I need to put more expectations on myself to get me and my family where I want everybody to be.
Beautiful. That just told me that going through that process, you realize that, yeah, I'm not quite thinking as big as I need to be.
Mhm.
Wonderful, Andrew. Love that. Thank you, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Go ahead, Dominic.
Yeah, my pressure is very high, since yesterday. So I'm in bed. They want me to be in bed. Yeah. So I just want to say, can I be excused today?
Dominic, listen, health is absolutely paramount, sir.
Okay.
Let me just make this straight for you. The 3 Ps, physical is first. You get better. You look after yourself. Flint will reach out to you and understand when we can reschedule you when you're feeling better. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Get better soon, my friend. See you soon. Take care.
Well,
William, talk to me, sir. What was your big takeaway as you went through module 3?
Well, about the same as the gentleman before me, just how much money, just how much money you really need to be able to invest to start building wealth. So, and yes.
No, go ahead. Let me finish, please. I don't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, and one of the things on one of the videos I watched was I believe it was the Cardone guy. He didn't even know his own credit score. And I was like, well, how can a multimillionaire, maybe a billionaire, not know what his credit score is? But I guess once you reach that level, it's not not as important as it is, for the average person.
Well, put it this way, William. When you've got to the point where you've got in excess of $4 billion in real estate, leverage with other people's money, of course.
Yeah.
Then the one thing you know about your credit score is just damn good. That's the one thing you know, right? That's the one thing you know. So yeah, beautiful stuff. Thank you, William. But yeah, of course, it does drive home the importance of how big you really need to be thinking in order to achieve the outcome you're looking for, right?
Right.
Beautiful stuff, sir. Thank you. John, talk to me, my friend. What was your big takeaway as you went through module 3?
probably how important it is to create leverage and how there's different ways of creating leverage. And then how changing within changes your outside reality.
Okay. So leverage was something that stood out to you really, really massively, right?
Yes, that's crazy.
Good. I'm just making a quick note, and I'll tell you why leverage is so important, because leverage is how wealthy people create the outcome they're looking for. Beautiful stuff, John. Love that. Absolutely love that. Teresa, how are you, young lady?
I'm good. How are you? How are you? Well, we know how you are.
I'm good, though. I got this. I'm good. Talk to me. What was your big takeaway?
Yeah, like Andrew, there was a bunch, as there always is, but I think leverage was really good. I had 2 really big takeaways. Leverage was good because it teaches you how you can, not have to put it all on yourself. You do other people's other things and you learn, success leaves clues, and that's how most successful people got successful. So
Correct.
that's how I took that one. And then Jim Rohn, you
Mm.
get paid according to your value. And
Absolutely.
you don't change the seed, you fertilize the soil. That was a good segment for me.
Say that again, just in case everyone else wasn't quite listening. Say that again, please.
You don't change the seed, you fertilize the soil.
All right, beautiful. Meaning, if you're not certain whether your seed is going to grow, you're not going to dig it up and check, are you growing? No, you're just going to keep putting good food in the soil, right? And have an expectation that your seed is going to flourish. Absolutely beautiful stuff. Thank you, Teresa. Appreciate you.
Sure.
Rick, talk to me, my friend. Big takeaway through module 3.
Big thing that impressed me was, breaking down your time. I'm in my 70s. I wasted a lot of time in my lifetime that I probably could have become rich. Plus the 10 times principle also impressed me where, I've got to come up with a lot more money, to bring your net worth up. And the other thing was I had 3 things here. On the leverage, I always was taught or always heard that debt was bad. And, then they talked about good debt. So that was made an impression on me also.
Good. Absolutely beautiful. And debt's relative, right?
Yes.
Because if you've only got the mindset that I must stay out of debt because debt isn't good for me, then you're going to see debt as bad. But if you truly understand to think like wealthy people think, you understand, bring on the debt, give me some more because I'm going to leverage that and make some more money. So it's again the shift in the mindset in order to create your outcome. Beautiful word, Rick. Thank you. Appreciate that. Michael, good day to you, sir. How you doing?
Good day. Very well. Thank you. Biggest takeaway, Grant Cardone. Are you kidding? I got a new mentor out there. I immediately went and got his audiobook 10X, and I've been listening to that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, all the other stuff is great too, like everybody mentioned, leverage and etc. There's a lot of good quotables and stuff I've been writing down, what have you. But being able to grab somebody like that and run with it was a huge takeaway for me, because I was aware of him. I've seen his commercials just briefly, but now it's somebody that's really on my radar, and got to dig deep with him. So,
and someone that's worth actually paying attention to their principles, because he's got a lot of good ones.
Yeah.
Beautiful stuff. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate you, sir. Jason, talk to me, my friend. Biggest takeaway.
The good debt versus bad debt was really good. Other people's money. And the video between Jeff and Curtis, the actual 1 and almost 2 hour interview, that was intriguing. Like learning about how the banks operate, your credit score operates, the breakdown of the loans, traditional loan versus the bank loan, what he does for individuals, all that was super intriguing to me and informative.
So that suggests to me, was this a new concept? Was this kind of the first time you'd understood and heard?
This is not new. I'm very familiar with Richard Kiyosaki, got a lot of his books. It's I guess for me personally was I've just spent a year paying off $25,000 of bad debt. Like I worked my ass off to pay this off. I'm talking about a lot of hours, a lot of work to get rid of $25,000. So for me is like, oh, well, you need to go acquire some more debt. It's like, no, I just got done paying all my debt off. So I'm a very analytical guy. So the nuts and the bolts of it was really interesting, but based upon like how Jeff explained it, it's not bad debt if you're utilizing it in the right way to produce a business.
Correct.
So, and the structure of, 18 months of no interest to get your business going, that's pretty awesome. So
here's what I'd like to say, Jason. Congratulations. in working your tushy off, working your rear end off to get rid of 25K's worth of bad debt. So you can put your mind in the right space to understand how you can leverage to accelerate your growth. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you.
Because let's think about it. If you were still saddled with 25K's worth of bad debt, whether that made sense or not, it wouldn't be an option, would it?
No,
Again, congratulations, my friend.
thanks.
You know what they say, and this will probably make a whole lot of sense. When the student is ready, the teacher shall appear. And just like magic, the right lesson stepped in front of your radar, so you can now start understanding how wealthy people think.
That's an awesome point, because until I got that paid off, I was not looking for anything. I was just, nose to the grind to get the debt paid off.
Jason, you know what? In this life, and I want you to understand this very, very clearly, my friend. In this life, there is no such thing as accident or coincidence. No such thing. So when something pops into your radar, when something happens the way it does and unfolds the way it does, it's happened for a reason. Allow your senses to pick up what's important and understand how does that interact with my current reality to create my future. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Benjamin, talk to me, sir. Biggest takeaway.
So like Jason, I just paid off a buttload of debt and of course just went into debt by signing up for this course. And I don't think that would, that's kind of one of those iffies. Is that good debt or bad debt? It's good in the sense that I'm learning something new and hopefully I can get a return on this. And on the other hand, it's bad debt because I had to use a credit card to do it. So, but like everybody else, the 7 leverage points were stood out really a lot to me.
Mhm.
And then changing myself, that seems to be a theme through every one of these lessons, including the book. And that is probably going to be my hardest thing to accomplish. And I'm not really sure why, but I've had a lot of these types of classes before and read books, and I just never seem to get it to sink in. So I'm going to work diligently on that factor, because if I realize now, the way I've been doing it isn't going to work. And I need this to succeed. Like I said, this is kind of my last rodeo. I'm not interested in doing anything again. If I can't make this, I'm going to just make this one work. Because I need to, but yeah, changing myself was probably, and like I said, I know that that's a theme through it all, but I've already gone through the other part too, the
accelerator program.
Yeah, the accelerated program. I finished that last night. I think I just have a questionnaire at the very end to do or something like that. But even there, they talk a lot. He's talking a lot about. Cameron's talking about. You got to get the mindset right before you can do anything. So, yeah, that's where I'm at.
Thank you, Benjamin. And I want to work backwards through a couple of things you said. I first want to congratulate you. I don't know whether anyone else noticed what you did. You said, if I can't get, I'm just going to make this work. What you did right there in that moment was you became very aware of your language. Because as I've said many times, language is the precursor to behavior. You stopped yourself, giving yourself an exit strategy. If I can't get this to work, you stopped yourself and had that as no option. Congratulations. That's the first thing. I then want to address something you said, because you said, well, was this good debt or bad debt? Well, it's good debt if I can get this to do the right thing, ultimately, if I can hopefully get a return, but it's bad debt because I use a credit card. I just want to help you understand something. Just because you use a credit card definitely doesn't automatically make it bad debt.
Okay,
It's bad debt dependent on what you use your credit card for. You've used this to educate yourself, to build a business where your ultimate objective is to create an asset that generates cash flow. So this would only be bad debt if you let the program sit down and you did nothing with it. That's the
Right.
only possible way this could be bad debt.
and that's
As-
kind of the way I've been looking at it, but you know, I've been kind of, because, you know, I just know in my head, all, you know, from past experience, credit
Mhm.
cards, oh my God, credit cards, it's always bad debt, you know?
You see?
But but then I got thinking about it. It's like, well, now that's the wrong attitude. So, but
Beautiful.
yeah, I was a little confused about that. Thank you.
No, you're welcome. And can you see why it's so important to change your thought process?
Yeah, yeah, I am beginning to see that, and I am working on that quite a bit.
I'm going to help you understand before we conclude this call why it's so important. And I can also help you understand why things haven't worked in the past. Just before I finish this call, I will help
Okay.
you and give you complete clarity as to why things haven't worked in the past. And I can give you complete clarity without even having to ask you questions upon what you've done. And when I
Awesome.
explain, it will make complete sense. Benjamin, I appreciate your feedback, Jeff. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Aisha, talk to me.
Hi. This past module allowed me to really get productive, and something about like leverage and good debt, bad debt that everyone else was mentioning. These are conversations that I was fortunately able to have, or that I enjoy having with some of my friends who are also finance majors and are going into the financial accounting fields. But this specific lesson about that leverage and actually utilizing it clicked. And I feel like I'm in a position now to be able to implement it. And now there's additional steps moving forward, because I was always told, yeah, you can use a certain amount of money and you pay off 30% at a time. So I was getting the understanding of how it worked. But now, especially putting into this course, to be completely honest, I was shocked when it was when we weren't sure between the difference between good debt and bad debt for this course, because for me, I learned to slow down, because I was also thinking as well, like, oh, this is a larger purchase, but now I know how to pay it off in increments. But then, as Jeff said, it was in 3.3 or less than 11, that when the leverage going into using other people's money, which is essentially what credit is, and I can pay it off in certain increments in a smaller amount, but then know that I'm going to make that money back. So then I can pay it off then. So that really stood out to me and got me to understand, oh, okay, I see. I can still save what I have now and make that a goal. Now I have to make it certain that I'm going to make that back. It just put a different drive in me, and I'm getting additionally excited. And I took the time to numericize, if that's a word, it'll be a word today, and wrote down the numbers of okay, what do I want to do to make for the next month, and how would I want to live? So I started at a larger scale. I started breaking it down for my wants, and then moved it into, okay, well, if that's 20%, started getting into the algebra work. So I got excited. I'm a math nerd. So I got really excited about the numbers and everything, and finally got a goal instead of just a direction to go to. I've been able to narrow it down to like, okay, this is the number that I need to hit. I went back and did my awesome life number. I really took my time with this one. And yeah, I was really excited. I got a lot of good answers this week.
You were really excited? You sure? Absolutely wonderful, Aisha.
Yeah, to be able to
Your
explain it finally was exciting.
You know what? And I've got to say this, your energy is infectious. Thank you. Because I took your enthusiasm that you went through the lessons with just in the way that you couldn't wait to offload what your takeaways were. That tells me how much this impacted you. You were looking forward to this call today, right?
Yes, I was.
Thank you. Thank you. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you. Karen, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Oh, wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. So talk to me, Karen, what impacted you?
Well, impact me, despite the class, I've been doing digital marketing for so long. So I have quite a bit of mindset. I know how to leverage. I learned about big good debt and bad debt. And I've been through the hardship, and the motivation kicked in, and I was able to make miraculous results with using other people's money for my investment. And I've been using it all my life. So basically I don't really have, I don't really need to think about how to pay back because none of the money coming from me. And so I have quite a smooth journey from coming to the stage of my life. Digital marketing is my passion. The only thing that's tied me up before before I know about this, but it's just hard for me to let go, was work. Because I love what I do. I love building websites. I love the development part of it. I love the technical part of it. It was kind of difficult for me to not have to deal with my clients and have to let the project take on by somebody else. And I've been there before, and it wasn't a good experience. So that was kind of like my limited belief that I need to take control. And as a result of that, my digital agency is very limited in terms of manpower, in terms of how much time I can help my clients.
Yes, of course, of course.
And currently I'm handling 3 major clients on a monthly basis, but it does take a lot of my time. However, I work at home and my time is very flexible and there's no deadline, and it's just monthly tasks I want to get done. It's all up to me disciplining myself with my time management and my scheduling, constantly on Zoom meetings and stuff. So to me, I love it. It's like, I love working at home. I have not used my truck for a whole month so far. A whole month I haven't driven anywhere, and it's just working from home and producing income. And that's the part probably my takeaway will be. I need to learn, be more productive, and I have been doing it. I already got 3 projects passing out to the team of the white label company. And so I'm gonna be focusing more on scheduling appointments and consulting and just helping clients find solutions for their marketing.
Fantastic, Karen. Thank you. So I took a lot away from what you said. You've had a smooth journey, and maybe you found it simpler than many would have. You've worked consistently on yourself. Now, I just want to tackle a couple of points before we move on. Do you believe that personal development is a continued process, or do you believe it's something you do and get done?
The first part, sorry, I missed the first part.
Personal development, do you believe that's a continual process, or do you believe it's something you do and you're over with?
Of course, it's continue ongoing.
Okay, perfect. So even though you've had a lot of personal development, that's something that you can always do more of, right?
Yes.
Perfect, thank you. That was the first thing. Second thing is, you mentioned because of a previous negative experience, you now have a challenge letting go because things weren't done to your satisfaction previously, correct?
Yeah, losing clients, yeah.
Okay, so will it be a challenge for you to scale and get to where you want to get to if you don't understand that?
I am doing it right now.
Fantastic.
I just gave up
I know you said that, and I just wanted to clarify, and I just wanted to hear you verbally agree that you want to scale, get bigger, so you have to challenge that part of you that is holding on.
Right. Yes.
Beautiful. Thank you, Karen. And the reason why I'm thanking you is because you are clearly very open to change. You know what? And even that response right there,
The
I thank you again.
The reason why I'm doing digital marketing is because this is the career that I can see a exponential growth. Like I've been doing this for 15 years. I'm still growing. I'm still learning. And that's why it got me so fascinated, because I love challenge. I love growth. You know, I've been
Perfect.
doing many jobs before and I got bored and I quit. But now,
But you've been doing this one for 15 years and you're still growing. And the
Yes.
word you used was exponential growth.
yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you, Karen. Appreciate you. And Jose, last but most definitely not least, my friend, what was your big takeaway?
The 7 ways of leveraging money to your advantage. Yeah, exactly.
Game changer.
It's mind blowing, but it's a good thing.
Drop the mic, right?
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Guys, thank you all for giving me your feedback. And the reason why I will consistently get you all to give feedback in what your takeaways were is that we learn so much from each other. Someone says something that you might not have necessarily picked up on, or someone says something that, okay, yeah, I'm glad they picked up on that because I was in agreement with that. We learn this is a sharing process. Beautiful, Jose. Thank all of you. I thank each and every one of you. I just want to touch on a few of these points because there was a few really, really massive things that came out of these lessons. Grant Cardone, he is one of the most straight shooting guys out there. He doesn't mince words. He says what he means and he means what he says. Grant Cardone spoke about money. And he really made a statement when he asked you to think about what middle class is. And then he said, middle class is a single-digit millionaire who should be worried. Who was surprised when they heard that? Okay, so few were surprised, some were maybe, and some of you were stone cold, absolutely no surprise whatsoever. I had already thought about that. I knew that. That's why I'm here. Correct? Love it. Absolutely love it. The reason why I start there is quite simple. Because he doesn't throw out statements without giving you ammunition and food for thought. And he then broke down why he said that. And when you do the maths, it's not difficult, right? In 2022, and especially where I say you guys live in the land of lawsuit, one wrong turn could wipe you out. With inflation kind of going where it's gone, $1 million, and let's not minimize it. Let's not minimize it and act as though it's no short of money. $1 million is still a good amount of money. Bearing in mind that, what were the statistics now? 60%,
one illness could take $1 million. I mean,
Benjamin, say it again, please, sir.
one illness could wipe out $1 million pretty quickly.
Absolutely.
I know that, unfortunately, I know that from experience.
You see? However, if you didn't have those resources there in the first place, it would do a lot more than wipe it out. It would wipe you out, correct?
Absolutely.
So that's why I said, let's not minimize $1 million, but thank you, Benjamin. $1 million is still $1 million, and that's still an incredibly great platform to start from. However, it's not going to get you to where you want to go if you have a certain aspiration of how you want to live your life, right? Because what Grant Cardone was saying is, if you had $1 million and you never did another day's work, but I know that's not the intention of any of you. So when you get yourself to a point, all you're going to do is build, grow, and accelerate and continue. But when I say he never makes a statement without giving you an understanding, when you break down the numbers, it's not hard to realize why $1 million isn't going to ultimately allow you to achieve the outcome you're looking for. Well, let's be completely honest about this. Most people will never get to where they want to get to because they've got their eye on the wrong target. They're focused on what the wrong outcome is. And Andrew, you started it off by saying that the concept of magic number versus awesome life number made a whole lot of difference, because let's think about it. We're not talking about creating a magic number. Your magic number is just replacing your income. And if you're in a place where your income isn't completely serving you, you don't want to create a business that's just created an income that's not completely serving you, because then you've just created a vicious loop of owning an income that's still not enough. Your awesome life number, however, that's a whole new scenario. And this is what I will say to you. Not maybe, not possibly, not if. Absolute fact. When you get to the point where you can live on 20% of your gross income, I promise you, your whole life has just changed. You start hurtling towards creating generational wealth at that point. Not a maybe, not a possibly, that's a fact. Everything now has a completely different outcome. So although he told you a single digit millionaire is middle class, you should be worried, he then gave you that equation. 20, 40, 40. 20% to live on. 40% for storage, not savings, for storage, because that's going to be reinvested. And I've got to sigh heavily, because you've got to be at least prepared to give those guys 40%. You guys call them the IRS. In the UK, we call them the HMRC. Globally, I call them the world's biggest cartel. But here's the thing. Should you not be prepared to invest in yourself as much as you're prepared to give the IRS? Because from what I understand, the IRS, they're not planning to build generational wealth for you, are they? From what I understand, they're planning to have their hand as deep in their pocket as possible, but they're definitely not planning to build generational wealth. So when we have an understanding, and who, by show of hands, went through the exercise of identifying what your awesome life number is? It's going to be different for everyone. Who went through that exercise? Because what your awesome life number is, that's your first target. It's not your end game, but that should absolutely be your first target. That's what you should have your eye on. That's the next milestone for me to allow me to understand, yep, I scale, move, and graduate from here on in. That's what your awesome life number should mean to you. And as many of you said and recognized quite clearly, the way you get to achieving your awesome life number is by operating like how wealthy people do, by leveraging those 7 key components, utilizing leverage. When it comes to work, you know what they say, and I know this one must have rung true for you, Karen. Many hands make light work. When you can leverage other people's work, you're always going to get more done. You're always going to be able to grow, scale, and achieve more. Yes, of course, as long as you've got the right people working with you, but when you have, you're always going to accelerate. When it comes to knowledge, guys, I will be very clear when I tell you this, with no apology. If I'm the smartest person in the room, please understand that I'm in the wrong room. I don't ever want to be the smartest person in the room. I want to make sure I've got, Jose, do what you need to do, sir. I will get Flint to send you a recording of module 3, and then she will contact you to get you booked for module 4, okay?
No problem.
All right, sir.
Wish much
Have a good
success to
afternoon.
everybody. Have a good one.
Have a good afternoon. So here's the thing, guys. If I'm the smartest person in the room, as I said, I'm in the wrong room. I want to make sure I've got other people around that have got more knowledge, more experience, and more expertise that I can lean on to grow, develop, and understand how I can move forward. Now, of course, it's got to be a reciprocal arrangement. What can I bring to your table? But I want to leverage your knowledge so I can grow and scale. when it comes to other people's money. Again, Grant Cardone, he made some statements. He said he'd borrow money at 18%. Let's stop there for a moment. 18%? Most people are having heart palpitations hearing 18%, correct? But he said he'd borrow money at 18% if he's got a deal that's going to produce 50%. So let's just make sense from what he just said there. It's not the cost of the money. There's always a cost to money in one way, shape, or form. It's how he would leverage those funds to minimize the cost of the money. And we're now starting to really understand how OPM works, guys. When it comes to other people's time, your time is too important to do everything. It really is. If we go back to the 80-20 principle, you must leverage other people's time in order to allow you to grow, accelerate, expand, scale. That's not possible if you don't leverage other people's time. That's why that has to be a must. When it comes to your network is your net worth. Who had heard that statement before? That your network is your net worth. Okay. Well, if you think about it and you break it down, that's proximity right there. That's putting yourself around people that are playing on a higher level and making that be your inner circle. Creating an inner circle with people that are more financially productive than you are, because as Jim Rohn said, you'll become the sum total of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So ensure that your network is accelerating. When it comes to other people's ideas, guys, again, I don't want to reinvent the wheel. Why would I want to do that? That takes far too much time and energy. I want to be able to leverage other people's ideas. As far as the wheel goes, I'll be completely straightforward with you. All I want to do is put grease around the wheel so that when it leaves my hands, it rolls a little bit smoother. That's what I want to do as far as the wheels comes. And then when it comes to automation and systems, guys, you live in a technologically advanced era where you're going to be able to utilize software. You're going to be able to utilize programs. There are so many things you're going to be able to utilize to create automation and systems. Who's looking to create wealth at some point? What did Warren Buffett say about being able to create wealth? You're never going to become wealthy until you're doing what? There you go, Andrew. Thank you. Making money while you sleep. In which case, you have to be able to leverage systems. I don't want to teach you how to suck eggs here, but let's think about all of this. There's a reason why we're going through this. Repetition is the mother of all skill. There's a reason why we're starting to understand why we need to think, act, and therefore behave differently before you even start going through the business. Benjamin, this is all making a lot of sense to you, right? When we do things differently, Benjamin, take yourself off mute, sir, because I take yourself off mute. Say that again. No, you're on mute at the moment, Benjamin. You're on mute. I can't hear you. There we go.
There.
So yeah, say that again, sir.
I was just saying that I realize now that that's been one of my biggest things is understanding that I'm the variable.
Yeah, absolutely perfect. And until you change, nothing changes.
And that seems to have been my life story.
Thank you for being so honest with that response. And I said, and don't worry, I haven't forgotten, I'm going to help you understand exactly what needs to change and why there are certain things that are so important. Guys, congratulations, because the digital programs you've already enrolled in, they allow you to leverage other people's work, other people's knowledge and you're going to leverage automation. That comes just from what you've already rolled in. In module 1, Jeff spoke about the fact that Entre have got coaching programs, Entre have got live events. Coaching allows you to create other people's ideas, utilize other people's time, and live events allow you to create networks, transform and build your community, as well as work on you. You're going to get an email that breaks all of that down. I'm going to touch on a few key components with you real quickly. But before I even go there, many of you said when you heard the interview with Carter Snally and Grant Cologne, that really struck a chord and gave you clarity about other people's money. Who got a ton of value from that interview? That interview was really about truly helping you define and understand how and why other people's money is so important. You will only ever grow to a certain point if you wait and use what you have. And in some cases, you might not have the abundance in order to be able to invest in your business straight away. When you leverage other people's money and you do it in the right way, that allows you to grow, accelerate, and develop. That's what that whole process is. This is how wealthy people accelerate their journeys exponentially, because they put themselves in a position where, okay, I now see the end game. How do I accelerate my journey in order to get me there? This is where we need to change our thought processes and remove our level of comfort and step outside of a comfort zone. Because I know many of you, when we had the conversation in module 1, had a level of discomfort when it came to debt, right? Jason and Benjamin have already said on this call, they've just finished paying off a ton load of debt. But that's because of the way the mind was framed, in that debt was bad, correct, guys?
Well, it was bad debt.
Yeah, I'm glad you recognize it. Now we want you to look at things differently and how to do things differently. And Jim Rohn really took it home, because Jim Rohn helped you understand you don't get paid for time, you get paid for value. Your personal development or your income will never exceed your personal development. Never. You have to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. That's why I asked Karen if she could clarify whether she believes that personal development was an ongoing journey. Of course, it's an ongoing journey. Absolutely, right? Guys, I've done a ton of personal development on myself. Before I even go there, let's talk about the fact that Entre believe in the 3 legs of successful action, correct?
Right.
Knowledge, community, strategy. You're going to get your knowledge from the courses you've enrolled in. That's where you're going to get your knowledge from. The courses that have been built by industry experts that have got a ton of direction and guidance. Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. You will create your community through live events. Let me help you understand something right here. Entre have got a trilogy of live events: Insight, Impact, and Influence. Now, you can go to a live event and a speaker or different speakers can educate you from stage and you learn things at a cognitive level. Or you can go to an incredibly motivational event like what Tony Robbins puts on. Motivation, my friends, is like a helium balloon. It starts off up here. And over time, just like a helium balloon, motivation drops down. And the only way to create more motivation is to go back to a new event. That's motivation for you. Or you can go to an event like what Entre put on. Experiential learning through exercises. That's what creates true transformation. Guys, I'm not going to give you the whole 9 yards. You know where I was this weekend? I was in Denver, Colorado this weekend at an Entre event. As I said to you, I've done a ton of personal development. I've done a ton of work on myself. Hands down, the last 3 days have been the best ever personal development event I've been to. Let me quantify and tell you why. Over the course of the weekend, we went through 28 different exercises. Exercises cause engagement, which means you learn through experience. And experiential learning creates true transformation. I have come back from that event and my head is already in a different space. And I've done a ton of personal development. I promise you that. Hands down, the best event I've been to. And I'll tell you why. The gentleman that facilitates our events, a gentleman called Todd Campbell. Entre didn't create these events. Todd, prior to working in partnership with Entre, had the longest running seminar business in the US. He ran that business for 18 years. Insight, Impact, and Influence, they are his curriculum. He's worked on them for the past 2 decades. He's delivered them around the world and had in excess of 250,000 people go through his events. He's created a team to facilitate and deliver the events. Across his team, he's got more than 110 years worth of personal development experience. So our Entre playing at the top level when it comes to live events, you better believe it. And Benjamin, just to address your point, my friend, when I said I was going to very quickly help you understand why things haven't worked for you in the past, because the one variable, as you said, which is yourself, your pre-programmed conditioned behavior has never changed. Unless you change your conditioned behavior, nothing will change.
How do you know when you've done that?
Believe me, my friend, you know when you've done that. And I promise you this, you can read as many books as you want, and you can go to certain events, and it still won't change. And I'll tell you why I say that. Because you have to understand that it's your belief system that needs to be adjusted. And you need to be able to go within yourself through direction and through exercise to understand how to identify your sabotaging behavior patterns and then reprogram them. Andrew, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I just wanted to piggyback on what Benjamin was asking about. How do you know? I think it can be gradual and it can be sudden. One thing for me, ever since I've started this, I now get up at 5:30 in the morning, 5:15. I usually give myself a couple of minutes of just groaning and getting out of bed then. But, you know, I get up much earlier in the morning. I go to bed earlier because I look forward to the morning. I have deleted a lot of the time sucks that we've talked about, a lot of apps. You know, I'm a type of person, I want to be well informed, but then there's just sometimes too much information, too much repetition. And I started to look at that and aggregated my apps for that. Games, I haven't played a video game since doing any of these courses. You know, this has become my video game. So I realized, and it wasn't like I forced myself and I said, oh, you know, I can't do that. That would be bad. It was literally, I wanted to, you know, and I could see that it was a shift in my mindset. And I will say, since I have the mic right now, Kevin had mentioned, because a previous call, I had said, you know, I've had a problem with, am I worthy enough for this change, to accept these type of things? I said, is there something that you could suggest? And he said psychocybernetics, and I got that. And if you haven't read it, I would suggest it. I haven't finished it, but I could say that you could probably work on chapter 1 a few times, going back and forth. And one of the things that Kevin had said about looking at your awesome life number, that's your target. They explain in the first chapter that they use a torpedo as an example of where the target's already been identified. And with a torpedo in the water, it will bounce off course, but it directs back to where it is. And that's what we will do. I mean, I think they use the analogy also of a center fielder running to a fly ball. It becomes a natural thing. He's not going, oh, I got to move this many feet this way and this way. It just becomes natural. So I think that, I think that's what's going to happen. I think, when you get where you need to be, it's going to be a natural thing. And then you're going to probably just look back on it and go, wow, when did that happen?
And you know what? Beautiful points, Andrew. And I would agree, but I would tell you that what Andrew's done in many of those situations, he's adjusted patterns and habits and behaviors, but that in itself won't be enough to change your belief system. That in itself won't be enough to redefine how you need to be thinking, and therefore your actual outcome. It's having that worked on in a setting that will allow you to truly reprogram your mind. And I promise you, that's when you will notice that you have significant change and acceleration. Guys, you're going to get an email and it's going to break down coaching and live events. You're also going to have module 4 opened. Module 4 in itself is a 2-hour lesson. Get your popcorn, get your drink. It's no 4 lessons anymore. It's 1 lesson from Jeff, who's going to walk you through an implementation plan. He's going to take you across a 2-hour lesson. You're also going to receive an email, details on coaching and live events. Flint, can you give me a thumbs up and confirm that's been sent, please? Perfect. Guys, what I now need you to do whilst you're on the call is check your email real quick and confirm that you've received an email, details on coaching and live events. Beautiful stuff. And just give me a thumbs up. Perfect, John. Aisha, beautiful stuff. Teresa, perfect. The reason why I want you to do this, perfect stuff, great, Michael, Andrew, beautiful stuff. Yep. The reason why I want you to confirm this is quite simple. In that email, Rick, perfect stuff. In that email, there's a link and it says click here for details on coaching and live events. When you click on that link, it's going to take you to another page. There is about 2.5 hours worth of content on that page that I need you to go through before the module 4 review call. So collectively, there's 4.5 to 5 hours worth of content to review before our next call. Hence, when I give you the dates and the available times now, we're going to take that into consideration, the amount of time. I also have a task for you. Knowing how important it is that we adapt our programming so that we can change our outcome, I want you to write down this question, and the task I have for you is I want you to write me a paragraph, and I don't want you to type it. I want you to handwrite it, and I want you to take a picture and email me the picture of your handwritten paragraph. And please make it so I can read your handwriting. Thank you very much. The question I want you to write is quite simple. Answer this question in the paragraph. What will I regret in 6 months' time if I don't change it now? What will I regret in 6 months' time if I don't change it now? Just write me 1 paragraph, take a photo, and send that over to me, please. So, in summary, a paragraph, review the details on coaching and live events, email. There's about 2.5, maybe just over 2.5 hours worth of content on there. and go through module 4, which is one lesson, 2 hours long. Everyone clear on that? All of that is to be done before our module 4 call. So bearing that in mind, I'm going to give you 2 options for the module 4. Depending on how much time you have available, I have a slot this week, Friday, or I have a slot on Monday. Friday will be 3:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Monday will be 4:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Who's available for Friday? Okay, wow. So Benjamin and Rick, beautiful stuff. So you've got enough time to complete, and Andrew, you've got enough time to complete everything I've just asked. You've got about 5 hours time to complete those tasks before our meeting on Friday, correct? Beautiful stuff. So we've got Rick, we've got Benjamin, and we've got Andrew. Flint, please book those guys for Friday. In that case, who's available for Monday at 4:45 p.m.? So I'm just waiting on Aisha and Karen. Rick, would you prefer Monday? You don't mind? You tell me, what would you prefer, Friday or Monday? And Aisha and Karen, if you can just confirm whether you're good for Monday.
I don't think I can make Monday, so I'm actually traveling to Bali on Friday, and I don't get in till Monday.
Okay.
So I can probably do Wednesday.
Can you do Wednesday?
Wednesday, yeah.
Wednesday will be the same time. 4:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? Perfect. Karen, what about yourself? Yeah.
Sorry, I'm still trying to figure out.
Okay. Sorry, Karen. Anyway, Kevin, she's asking if Kevin is asking what day works for you. The module 4 review meeting will be on Friday. That's 3:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's 12:45 Pacific. Or Monday, that's 4:45. That's 1:45 Pacific.
Which time?
It's like a call like this.
Yeah.
For module 4.
Module 4, correct.
I see. So next, you said what day? Monday next week?
Yep.
Monday next week. What time?
4:45 p.m. And did you recall what I said needs to be done before that call?
Yeah. I got.
Perfect.
Yeah. 4:45 p.m. Pacific time, correct?
No, 45 p.m. Eastern Standard, which is 1:45 p.m. Pacific.
1:45.
Yeah, 4:40. All of my time during Eastern. So it's 4:45 p.m. Eastern, 1:45 Pacific.
Okay. Flynn, can you send me an email?
Yeah, she'll book you, but is Monday confirmed for you?
Yes.
Perfect. Absolutely brilliant. So guys, we now have everyone booked. Rick, could you confirm which would you prefer, Friday or Monday?
Either day is fine with me, but if Friday or Monday's easier, that's fine. I can just do it Monday.
You prefer Monday?
Yeah, I'll do it Monday.
Okay, beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Benjamin, are you sure you want Friday, or would you also prefer Monday?
No, I've got time.
All right, perfect. Well, we'll see each other on Friday in that case.
5 hours. I've got, what is it? It's only Wednesday now, so I got 2 days to do 5 hours.
Beautiful.
That seems pretty simple.
Absolutely beautiful. Guys, I am literally running back to back. So on that note, I want you to recall everything that needs to be done. I want you to write that a paragraph on that question. Take a photo, email that to me. Then complete the details on coaching live events email, complete module 4. And on that note, I will see you. Benjamin, I'll see you on Friday. Everyone else, I'll see you on Monday. Aisha, have a beautiful trip to Bali, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Take care, guys. Have an incredible, incredible, incredible day. See you all soon.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.